I was sort of keeping track here. Sal and Hassan both said that this game was total domination. Max over here called it a blowout. How did you describe this game? You got to keep it clean, though.
Yeah, it was a rear-end kicking of the highest order.
Which
Nicole.
I really appreciate
the
that.
highest.
Absolutely, the highest
very
order.
highest.
Okay,
order.
so tell me, how was Philly able to control this game?
Really, I'll give you 5 names.
Okay.
Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Seumalo, Lane Johnson. Those 5 guys up front from left to right on the offensive line. The kind of things that they were doing to the New York Giants D-line, particularly right at the strength, right at the heart of their D-line, right up the middle, really, they should be arrested for, because it was assault. It was assault all night long. They were taking grown men and putting them on their back, and they were doing it over and over and over. And when you attack a team at the heart of where they feel as though they are the strongest, or you attack a unit at the heart of where they feel they are the strongest, and they know that's what you're going to do, and you can't do anything about it, that is just, in the game of football, you're done. You're done right at that point. When you can't stop it because and you know it's happening, you're done. And they set that tone early on the offense side of the football, and they just kind of drove that point home as the game went on. And we haven't even really got to the part about the defense where Hassan Riddick was just talking to Sal Pal, how they also came out and rushed the passer with a ferocity that they've been doing all year long. That's why they're number 1 in the NFL through the first 17 weeks of the season plus the playoffs in pass rush win rate. They get after your quarterback like nobody else's business. And you know what? Look, I said this on Twitter as well. There should be no talk about, obviously we have to talk about Jalen Hurts. We have to talk about A.J. Brown. We have to talk about the perimeter players. We have to talk about Daniel Jones with his contract status and all his. But every sports talk radio show, every TV show, everything that's printed in the media should really focus on the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line and defensive line. And really that should be the focus going on for the rest of the playoffs, because that is where the strongest teams are the strongest. And the teams that end up being the strongest on the offense and defensive line are going to be the ones that are playing in the Super Bowl. And it's a well-known fact in the NFL. It's why when you go to the Senior Bowl and you go to the Combine, the most heavily attended sessions are the ones involving offensive linemen and defensive linemen every single year. Just go see for yourself. That's where all the scouts and GMs and coaches hang out, because they know if you don't have those guys, you don't have a shot. And Philadelphia just showed you tonight, we've got a bunch of them. And they are coming right now to snatch your heart out. And if you cannot meet our ferocity, it is flat out over. And as you can tell, I'm a little bit excited about it, only because I like the physical aspect of football. That's what attracted me to the game at a young age. And at the highest levels now, divisional round NFL football, which many people consider to be the very sweet spot of the NFL. This weekend, Philadelphia right now just put on an absolute clinic of how it's supposed to look.
Okay, so
I think, is as good as it gets.
So they put on this clinic, but there's still 1 game to go before they can make it back to the Super Bowl.
True.
So it's either going to be the Niners or the Cowboys in the NFC title game. How does this game tonight and the way that they played tonight, how does that team match up against their potential opponents in the NFC title game?
Well, they can match up against anyone, quite honestly. It doesn't really matter. What really matters to Philadelphia is how they play and the health of their football team. Now, that being said, I am not disrespecting the San Francisco 49ers offensive line or defensive line, or the Dallas Cowboys, for that fact, their offensive line or defensive line. Because I can tell you this. Let's just hypothetically project that it's Philadelphia against San Francisco. I can tell you that will register on the Richter scale when those two fronts get after each other. Because San Francisco has this guy named Trent Williams. San Francisco has this tight end named George Kittle. San Francisco has this fullback named Kyle Juszczyk, and we all know Debo. Those guys play big boy bully football, and they make no mistake about it. So that will be a clash of the Titans, of no doubt. And what San Francisco is going to have to do tomorrow with Dallas, Dallas knows what they're up against tomorrow. Dallas knows that this isn't about the perimeter players and, wide receiver screens and bombs. This is about, can you capture the line of scrimmage against this team that Kyle Shanahan has built and John Lynch has built that will tell you, this is where you better deal with us first before we even get to our perimeter players. Because if you can't deal with us here, we'll run the ball on you 45 times in the game, 50 times in the game. They've done it. They've done it before. So, look, Philadelphia can match up against anyone, to answer your question. San Francisco can match up with anyone. Dallas has to answer some questions tomorrow. We know they can rush the passer. Can they withstand the onslaught from a physical standpoint that San Francisco is going to present to them? That's what makes tomorrow another great matchup to watch, because Dallas has some questions to answer.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.